I'm the Villainess on Taming the Final Boss Volume 1 review. Towards the end of last year, I reviewed the first volume of the original light novel of the series. Despite its flaws, was a fun read, and it's time to check out the manga adaptation, which I'm pleased to say holds up very well, and even fixes some of the light novel's more glaring issues. The story revolves around Aili Lauren de Madrich, a young noblewoman and daughters of the Elmayer Empire's prime minister, who has an engagement to the Empire's crown prince, Sir Jean Elmayer, publicly annulled, humiliated in front of the crowd of Cedric's followers, and his new lover, Lena Renault. The shock of the situation brings Ailey memories in her black past life as a sickly girl in modern Japan, where could do nothing but play video games from her hospital bed. It turns out that the world Ailey is in is a setting of her past life favorite Otome game, where Gaia saints demons and maidens, and she's the villain that is stand on Lilia's way. Of course, being the villain means that she doesn't get a happy ending, dying every route of the game, and that's something that she's desperate to avoid. Ailey quickly catches a plan that he can hitch to the cost of these debts. The Demon King and Cedric's half-brother, God, aiming to steal his heart before Lilia could turn him into the king's final boss. The first volume of the manga covers the first 3 chapters of the light novel and adapts them pretty much exactly, point for point. However, while the light novel very clumsily edited itself, a lot drawn of explaining the plot, the manga cuts this out, trims out the fat, and focuses just on the scenes that matter. As a result, the narrative flows a lot better, and the 7 tightens up the pacing. You lose some of the extra details with the light novel, particularly in Ailey's narration of the current events, but it's not necessarily a bad thing as a lot of super flaws anyway, and the extra visual detail for the manga, being able to see the characters' emotions rather than having them described to you, does make up for it. The dialogue is a lot punchier too, and it's get across the light novel sense of humor rather well, and I still found myself giggling at the sillier character performance, even though it was my first time seeing them. With all that in mind, is that so far, the manga is the better way to experience the story, as it has these fixes and keep the light novel's greatest strength in its characters and want to do something different with the light villainess trope and its more political plotline. Admittedly, we haven't quite got to that more political part yet, but it still does justice to the light novel's world plan building, spelling things out a bit more clearly. We get a map of the city here, for example, which make it easier to see how the class system works. I quite like art too, as Uncle Yuzu takes the character designs from Mike Murasaki's original illustrations and makes them softer and cuter, which makes the more comedic parts of the story lot better. This is particularly noticeable for the side characters, as drawn some are a little different from what I imagined. The designs are pretty much the point with the personalities, particularly with Aiden's father and his glasses, smart handlebar mustache, and Dutch sturdy smirk certainly give him the aristocratic air. However, I did find that with characters that were mean to have a meaner lich. The artwork lets it impact a little, like with Beelzebub, who was never constantly has his wings out in the manga, unlike in the novel instructions, and Prince Cedric. I'm the Villainess, so Taming the Final Boss is being published by Young Press, is available both digitally and physically due to the ongoing industry-wide stock issues. I ended up purchasing this digitally, and I was pleased with the overall presentation. But the color pages and 2-page spreads are looking very nice in my device of choice. The translation is by Taylor Angel, who also translated the first volume of the light novel. He has no issues to note. It is consistent across both works. It is worth noting, however, that the manga adaptation is only listed as 3 volumes, which is a bit of a shame, considering the improvements over its source material. Overall, the first volume of I'm the Villainess, so Taming the Final Boss offers a great read. Adapted the opening chapters of the light novel well, fixes some of its more gunky aspect and tightening up this pacing to produce, but it's arguably the best way to experience the story. For those wanting a more politically focused take on the villainous trope, this is therefore a great place to start. Just be aware you will have to cross over to the light novel after volume 3. 9/10.